What's going on, AJ?
Hi, Brain.
Did I get?
Yep.
You know, I do want to be as transparent as possible. I don't want to be playing any games here behind the scenes or whatever.
Like you want translucent skin? That's gross.
I
But
think
also
I'm
kind of cool.
I think I'm already there. Like I've gone well past white or pale or whatever.
Well,
I
you're
haven't
really
seen
good at your
sunlight
lighting. You're
yeah.
really good at your lighting because you somehow managed to look 10 times more tan than me on the stream.
Yeah, it is all the lighting, and it's a good camera too, because the camera makes you look younger, it makes you look tanner, and then people see me in real life. Did you remember BJ's reaction from Urban Wolf Studios when he saw me in real life at PAX last year? Like he was visibly shook. He's like, "Are you okay?" He's like, like he didn't. He's too nice to say it out loud, but he was like, "You're fatter than you. You're fatter and paler and balder than you appear on stream."
Yeah, we've got really good makeup people that do our do our stuff before we go on.
Oh man, well I need the makeup people here now because like I've got for whatever reason they gave me a glossy finish today when I really need a matte finish. Everything's shiny, AJ. My nose is shiny, my face is shiny. There's a glare happening on my face. I don't like it.
Shine on, you crazy diamond.
Let's do it, man. Let's you know what? Having a Pink Floyd reference to start the show doesn't get better than that. Let's go.
Let's go.
This is PSVR GamesCast Live. We film live every single Monday, Wednesday, and 2 Eyes Friday right here on YouTube. We do it live, 6 p.m. Eastern for your viewing pleasure. Absorb us into your eyeballs. But then absorb us orally. Oh, Jesus, this is getting worse by the day. Because we put this thing up on podcast services of your choice. Today marks the first day that Rypop's not going to do it for us. So when it doesn't work, it's all my fault. I've got to learn how to do this shit on my own. And so I'm going to try it out tonight. And it's all going to be broken. And it's going to be my fault. Mine is Brian Paul from this channel right here without Parole. And this gentleman over here to my left, your right, is AJ from the Underground. PSVR Underground.
What is up, Brian? What is up, Game Cats? I'm staying away from the mic this time because I'm a good boy today. Happy Monday, you guys. Happy MonJay. Correction. MonJay, scratch that. I know that Mondays usually
Scratch
suck.
that.
Mondays, they typically do suck. You know, you've had a great weekend. It was a beautiful weekend. I hope some of you got to play lots of awesome VR-ness, as well as go touch some grass. Hopefully, a little bit. I touched a little grass. But we are here, Brian, for one reason, and one reason alone. And that is to ensure their Monday sucks. Just a little less. This much. Not.
What have you been up to, man? I haven't had a chance to talk to you too much since last Monday. What's going on? What have you been up to?
Oh man, everything is gravy in the underground.
Sweet.
I did a 3-hour live stream of Hitman this weekend. Of course, well, okay, so last Thursday we did our co-op, our very first, all 4 of the Without Parole crew did a 4-player Phasmophobia stream. That was so much fun.
How is that possible? We've like Without Parole has been going for literally 10 plus years. You guys have all been on the channel for 3 years, 2 years. I don't know. You've been on it forever, and then the other guys joined a couple years ago. How is this our first one? First one, and people came out in droves and told us we're not interested. Thanks for doing this, guys.
They were interested. I mean, we had a pretty great turnout. I saw we had like, at least on your stream, we had like 150 people watching, something like that. And of course, we were doing that to raise money for our PAX trip. Dude, we are less than 1 month away from the Game Cat meetup. All of us out in Boston, gonna get some chowder. And yeah, so if you haven't yet, thank you to everybody that has donated to the GoFundMe link so far. Brian's got it pinned in the chat right now.
Chat. Yep.
Thank you to everybody, and thank you to everybody who will be donating. Thank you so much. But yeah, dude, that was an absolute blast.
It was an absolute blast. I just got to say, we are 15% of the way to our goal. Listen, that doesn't sound like a lot, right? But already you guys have done so much. If everyone who subscribed to this channel contributed a quarter, literally a quarter, not $1. I don't even know what the minimum you can donate is, so maybe it is $1. But if everyone,
it probably has to be $1.
It probably has to be $1. But like, literally, if everyone donated $1, like we would blow this.
We'd have $100,000 and we could retire.
My property taxes are more.
We could retire for 10 years and then come out of retirement.
The four of us could retire for the rest of this year.
Yep. Yeah.
But hey, it'd be great not to have to raise money for next year's podcast, next year's meetup. Anyway, but yeah, if everyone donated literally the minimum amount, we would be there immediately. So please consider it. Thank you very much.
You don't have to,
but
it is very much appreciated. It does help us. But yeah, so Phasmo stream was Thursday. You, of course, I didn't live stream it, but I captured my video of it and audio, and I sent that to you. So we've got a special little mix that I think you're gonna be working on at some point that we have to share for everybody. Little highlights of the stream.
Once we reach our goal, AJ, I will absolutely get that out as a reward to the GameCat community. How's that? Is that fair? Is that fair? We reach our goal, and here's the edited. Although Wes apparently did have an issue.
That's maybe one of the perks. I think we'll provide a lot more than that, but then other than that, Saturday I did another solo man fundraiser stream. And I streamed Hitman for 3 hours after, it just got, last week it got a new update. Dude, it felt like 5 minutes, I'm not going to lie. The game is so good. So it got an update last week where they fixed all the crashing. They also did a bunch of like minor improvements. Not everything is 100% perfect. There's still really the only noticeable thing at this point is like there's still a little bit of like visual issues, like tiny minor ones, very, very minor. But the game is so good, so much fun. I had an absolute blast playing it. Yeah, man, thank you to everybody who contributed, tuned into that stream or just watched it, had fun, whatever. It was so fun. So I look forward to doing some more live streams. I know I've been getting some feedback about people that are like, dude, we missed the live stream so much. Cause I know, like, I used to live stream all the time. Yeah, it's been a while. So I do hope to at some point kind of get a little bit more consistent like live streams going and just, us all hanging out together, having fun, playing some great games. And dude, Hitman, so good. I cannot recommend Hitman enough.
That's great to hear, man. That is great to hear. Hey, I want to check in real quick with these tips. We got Noctis with literally every show. Noctis is here to hand over €1 to us. We appreciate you so much, man. Thank you so very much. We got Mark with the $2 says new previews of Aces of Thunder has got me hyped. That's good to hear. That's good to hear because I've actually been hearing from some people who have been like, what is Upload doing? Like they're just like they're not having any fun with this game. And if you look at people on our Discord, they've been like less interested than I was before. So really glad to hear that the previews have you hyped. Also, dude, shout out to everybody over on Twitter who, when Aces of Thunder tweeted earlier this morning saying, we're sending invites to our favorite content creators to cover Aces of Thunder on their channels, blah, blah, blah. The number of people that I saw, like before I even knew this tweet existed, right? I didn't know this tweet existed for like 6 hours. And then so I will go over to Twitter for the first time today and I see all of these notifications from people who are tagging Without Parole. And it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. I was just like blown away by the number of people who were like, oh, you got to get Without Parole. You got to get PSVR. It was so many people. And then as I was like, oh, I better get on this. So I responded to Aces of Thunder publicly. So we'd love to cover it. And then you guys liked and retweeted that like crazy. Thank you so very much. Again, this is why we have the best community out there. Not only are you gung-ho about getting games on PSVR2 and reaching out to those developers and making sure everybody in the community knows that like, hey, talk to these developers. But then on top of that, you're like supporting us and being like, make sure Without Parole is involved in this thing that we want. You guys are fucking awesome. That's all I got to say. Sirens on my end.
They really are, man. There's a lot of YouTubers out there that are, have way more subscribers. They make a lot more money. They get all their hookups from Sony directly and from developers directly, a lot more than we do. But I'll tell you what, I wouldn't trade it for anything, because we have the one thing that basically nobody else has, and that is the best online community like ever when it comes to VR. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. Everybody can keep their wild success and everything, because this is just the greatest feeling in the world to have you guys support us always. Thank you.
It really is. Sometimes, I think sometimes it's easy to get like complacent, or like, when like normal everyday life gets you down and you forget that there's so many supportive people out there. And then when it sort of seeps back in and you remember, it's the greatest feeling in the world. You guys get me out of bed more often than you know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
For real.
Paradise Decay, what's up, PD? With the 2 quid says 44. Close, but no cigar. Maybe next time, PD. Nihilist Ryan, the game feline, with the $5 tip. I'm super caffeinated today, AJ. Says Black Hole Pool, you're so cool. You wash away the rain. Black Hole Pool, you're so cool. You're so cool. That was horrible. I didn't realize I was going to sing.
Black Hole Pool. Oh, I was going to do your backing track there.
Wow, 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 wow. So good. I didn't know I was going to start singing until I got 3 words in, and then I was like, I'm off key.
Yeah, then you did like half the song. It was great. Yeah. I think I'm actually surprised. I love seeing that so many people are, think that as well, because I actually left a comment of that in the news thing, and like everyone's like, I was thinking, I came here to say this, and I was like, yeah, I'm just glad. I'm glad. Represent Soundgarden rules.
Yeah, I had to change the Discord thread to no one sings like you anymore. That's what the thread is called now on our Discord. Also, good reminder, guys. Make sure you come join our Discord. The number of times, and this isn't meant to sound derogatory or mean to anyone, but the number of times somebody emails me or DMs me or contacts me and says, "Hey, did you know this? Did you see that this got a release date?" Or that, or they left a comment that said, "Hey, Black Hole Pool just dropped." I'd be like, "You would have known this already if you were on our Discord, right?" It's like, I appreciate everyone reaching out to me and making sure I'm in the loop and that I'm on top of all the news that I need to be on top of. However, come join our Discord, because, man, the cats are way more on top of shit than anybody else. The second something happens in the world of PSVR2, they know about it.
Yeah,
so good job.
I used to do this like every day, and now there's so many people that do it. I'm like, I can't even keep up with how quick people are these days.
For sure.
Yeah, thank you for helping us out.
AJ, before we move on from the Black Hole Pool topic, maybe we should talk about our Black Hole Pool impressions. Like, we're already here. You want to just dive right into that?
Let's go for it. Let's shoot.
Nice. Guys, yeah, in case you didn't know, Black Hole Pool showed up in other countries around 7, 8, 9 p.m. last night, and then I believe hit the North American PlayStation Store around midnight. Came out for $20. This was a surprise, as far as I know. Basically, shadow dropped, and we didn't see this one coming. I've been actually in touch with the developers over the course of, I don't know, the last 6 months. And they're like, "Oh, don't worry, it's still coming. Don't worry, blah, blah, blah. We'll keep you in the loop, blah, blah, blah." And then just like out of nowhere, here it is. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah. Thanks for keeping me in the loop, guys. Give me some impressions, AJ. What did you think of this thing?
So oftentimes when there's a game like this that has one subject like this, like we've had like Forever Bowling, Forever VR, or Forever Cornhole for some reason.
Yeah.
All these things. A lot of the times these games, you'd think that they'd be like the easiest thing to nail, but you'd be surprised how oftentimes that is the opposite of what happens. A lot of times these games are garbage. They're like, I don't like to throw around the word cash grab a lot, but they feel like really cheap cash grabs. I am happy to report with my first impressions of Black Hole Pool. It's solid, man. Like, it actually feels good to play.
Yep.
And one of the first things that stood out was like, I was like, oh, this is a really nice tutorial. It's very, it explains everything very well. And then, man, those are some really shiny balls this game has.
Oh, man, for a second, I was like, what can you see on camera?
Your leg popping up.
my leg's up, and you're like, those are some really shiny balls this game has. And I was, what?
Whoops, I think not again.
You can't tell that I'm not wearing pants. Oh man, that's so great.
No, but first impressions are pretty good. Like from the gameplay feels really good. And the from a graphic standpoint, like the room looks decent. But the table itself looks really nice. And I think that's the important part. The lighting, the reflections, everything, the shiny balls look great. And yeah, it was just refreshing. I was like, oh, this is, this doesn't seem like just like some kind of cheap mobile game. This seems like a legit pool game. Finally.
Yeah, listen, I mean, I agree with most of what you're saying. I do think it controls well. It takes a little while to get used to. You gotta like lock in your shot, and you gotta kind of remember like, oh right, I'm using a headset that can't track when the controllers go behind me very well. So you gotta adapt to a lot of that. However, I want to start with just the straight up aesthetics of this game. This is a game that sold itself on Quest as something that allowed you to play YouTube on those big television screens in each of the rooms. So you just go on YouTube and watch YouTube while you're playing pool with friends. That just doesn't exist here, right? And so I feel like it loses a lot of the atmosphere it might have on other platforms. There's no music in the background. There's like no jukebox to like change tunes. There's just no music, so it's very quiet. And I think the pool halls feel they don't feel great, like in terms of like they don't look very lively. This is a $20 game that does, as you said, one thing, and you think that like there would just be like an option of 10 different pool halls to play in. But instead, you have like one room for practice. You have another room for VIP when you play against like friends, and you make your own lobby, but it's a private group. And then you have another sort of just open lobby with 6 pool tables that you can just have 10 people in there, either watching each other play or playing their own games. But that's it. It's like it just feels like. I'm glad there's unlockables, like pool cues and different felts and even different types of balls to unlock as you progress. It's a good progression system, but it just feels like there should be, I don't know, like 5 times as many places to play, like pool halls with different ambiance, different atmosphere. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's being a little too picky.
It is a little bare bones. I do agree. But the like not being able to have like YouTube on the TV, like that's obviously something that comes with the territory of being on a Sony console. Because stuff like there's just other games like that have limitations. Once you're on like the Sony platform, you can't just it's like having mods. Like you can't let people have mods on here because they have restrictions on that. So I'm not going to put the game at fault. Yes, I would
listen. I wouldn't put the game at fault either, but I do feel like when they realized that they couldn't do this, which was a long time ago, they should have been like, what royalty-free cartoons or whatever can we give these people to just throw up on the screen? Just give us something so it doesn't look completely dead in there.
Maybe, but I don't know if I'd feel great about a 480p like crappy little GIF that just repeats. Like it's not going to make a difference to me. The jukebox is something that I noticed though. I was like, I was kind of like, oh, there's no jukebox because there are like some sections around the room, the practice hall or whatever. And these are like nice features. But the way this game left me feeling is like it's good, but there is room for improvement. I wasn't going in like, where's the jukebox? Why is nothing playing on the TV? It's like, no, these are just ways the game could be improved. But Stingray X asks, the important part to me, first and foremost, the place to start with here is like, how does it feel to play? And what kind of modes does it have? What kind of online functionality it has? So let's move to that real quick.
Okay, wait, hold on. Wait. If we're moving to that, I just have to say one more thing. It looks like a PSVR 1 game. Sorry, from the resolution to the Mura the screen door effect. It's all
Oh,
there.
weird.
It just feel,
I thought you don't see Mura.
No, I mean, listen, I like when everybody was like, "Oh, it was so bad in Metro," I was like, "Oh, I see it in Metro," but some people are like, "It makes it unplayable." That's not me. That's never me, right? I feel like I look through Mura.
Don't tell me that's like that for you here.
I will say this: if I've got the read on Mura proper, then the same people who didn't like the Mura in Metro are going to be like, "There's so much Mura here."
I'll be honest with you. I think Metro has some of the most noticeable Mura that I've seen. I didn't even notice it here. I didn't even notice.
Interesting. All right. Well, I mean, we're gonna have to.
We're
gonna have to pull the cats after everyone's had a chance to play it. We're gonna have to pull the cats. So okay, yeah, let's move on to the more important stuff. This is it's pretty basic as far as presentation and everything goes. But yeah, the stuff that matters is how does the game feel to play?
I feel like I'm a big fan of billiards in real life. I like going shooting some pool occasionally from time to time. Aside from missing haptics, it feels like almost perfect. I love that when you aim your shot. Well, first of all, it's not clunky to like get in a comfortable position. They have a lot of good quality of life features where you can adjust your height, you can adjust the different angles, things like that. They give you the freedom to move around. There's no like collision with the table. So like you can really get comfy however you want. There's also a crouch button. If you press the left trigger, it took me a minute to find it, but because I was like, I'm too high up and I adjusted the height and then I realized there was a crouch button. I was like, oh, and I adjusted it back.
Which you use like for me, almost every time you take a shot, it's like you kind of get in position and then you hit the trigger in order to kind of like lean against the table almost. Like it's less of a crouch button, more of a lean against the table button.
Yes. But so once you get your angle that you like or whatever, I love that the pull cue has like a laser pointer almost to show you like where you're pointing at. So it kind of just helps not be a disconnect between where you're looking and trying to aim and where you're actually aiming. It's something you don't maybe have in real life, but it is a nice assisting feature here so that like, where you're hitting. I'm sure it's something you can turn off as well. I think actually, because you can turn a bunch of stuff off if you don't like it for immersion or whatever. But Stingray X was asking about like the physics, and the physics to me felt really, really good. How about for you?
Yeah, they felt right. It felt like when I hit the ball, like as long as my stick was moving as fast as I wanted it to, then the impact that had on the ball itself, which did have haptics. Every time I hit the ball, I got haptics in my right sense controller. It's a good thunk. That feels good. That's the only haptics in the game, as far as I know.
Oh, you did get haptics? I felt like I wasn't feeling haptics.
For me, it was like, this is exactly what it would feel like if I had. It's almost like Racket Fury, right? Barely noticeable because it's exactly what you would feel like if you were playing in real life. But again, maybe you had a bug or something where it wasn't working.
Maybe,
but it worked for me.
But it feels, I think the physics are great, and it didn't feel janky at all, right? Like, I think it doesn't do a lot, but it just does what it needs to. And that is don't be a janky pool game. And like 9 times out of 10, we get janky pool games. And I'm like that Forever Pool, good God, that was a nightmare to play. This introduces you right away. Is very easy to pick up and start playing, especially if you've played pool before. It starts you in the practice table where you can just practice, or you can play against an AI, and you can play 8, 9, or 10 ball. You can select the difficulty of the AI. It did catch me off guard a little bit that the AI is like a floating robot eyeball. I was like, like I was not expecting that, because everything else goes for just a more like, modern, just normal contemporary look. But that's not the only mode. So after you do some practice, there's an elevator that you can take, and there's a private room that you can go to. And then there's like an actual pool hall, where you go into. This is the room you were referring to earlier, where it's basically just the same room, but blown up into multiple sections. And, I jumped in late last night. I wasn't expecting anybody to be on, but there actually was one person literally, because the game had just dropped, and he was just there, like just shooting pool by himself. And I could have, if I wanted to, gone and spoke to him and been like, hey, like, you want to shoot some pool, whatever.
You're like, if I was social, I could have talked to him.
But I am very antisocial. so I was like, I just kind of like, how do I get out of here as fast as possible? And I went and played against the AI again, but I wanted to see, I just want to make sure I was, did my due diligence, looked at everything. But yeah, it seems like it could be cool to get a group of friends in this, or if you just go into public, if the lobbies are populated enough, that there's just a bunch of people in this pool hall, a bunch of different tables to play from. And it functions very much just like your average bar that has like a bunch of pool tables in it or something.
Yeah, I obviously started off in the practice room. I didn't even play against the AI. I honestly didn't know that was an option, because I was just like, I immediately went to jump in with Izzard. Interesting sirens. And so I did like the 20-second tutorial, and then jumped in the elevator and immediately went to a private lobby. Very easy, just like, like 6-digit room code. And we played around in there for a while, and then before we took off, we were like, let's go see who's in the public lobby. So you take the elevator up to there, and it's up to 10 people in each lobby, which is cool because it just feels like there's more going on. Like, again, because of the lack of music and because of the lack of anything happening in the pool hall itself, just having people like meandering around and talking to each other, it adds that ambiance that I think the game was missing prior. And so and it was cool, because like there's no once you're in that lobby, there's no like complicated like, oh, who's gonna play with who. It's like you just walk up to a table and you both go, oh, I'm gonna play here, and then that's what it was. Most of this footage is just me watching two other people play. And I will say that the private lobby, it's really strange. The private lobbies are not cross-platform; they are PSVR2 only. And then the public lobby is for everybody. It's cross-platform. And so we were actually playing with a couple of people on Quest, and a good handful of people who were playing on PSVR too. It's cool.
Yep. Good. It is cross-platform, which is nice. Before I get into some of the things, like a couple of just the kind of overall thoughts, there's one thing I want to highlight that absolutely surprised the heck out of me and that I thought was very, very impressive. Surprisingly, this game, out of all games, has some of the best character customization I have ever seen with a VR game. You can completely customize your look, but the thing that really blew me away was that there was literally like 100 different outfits to choose from. There were so many, everything from casual clothes to street clothes to medieval clothes to animal costumes. Like there was like a dragon costume that I was like, I have to be the dragon. Like, and I got into it, and it's this glorious like lizard thing, and it's all like derpy looking. It's wonderful. The only problem is though, when I actually started using it, is like when you're in the costume, like you see the teeth like in your face. Yeah. So it's actually not very like practical to use.
Also, you have these stats, like you have the stats and everything, the time and a few other things on the back of your hand. And if you're wearing something like I'm showing right here, Jesus Christ, Brian, what I'm showing right here, like if you have an outfit with a glove on, it covers it up. Like it doesn't shine through the costume. It doesn't shine through the glove. And so it's like, I don't know, man, they spent a lot of time with the cosmetics, but like, it's really weird. It's really weird that like they didn't have. It's weird that you can't see all the information on your hand with some of the cosmetics. But it's even weirder that it just all seems available from the get-go. Like, why not unlock some of that as part of the progression system, right? Because there is a progression system. The more you play, you can unlock different cues. You can unlock different types of balls. You can unlock different felts for the tabletops. So it's just a little weird that they say here's 200 costumes right from the get-go.
I was okay with that. Because it's been done so many times that like it was actually very it was refreshing that I could just like I didn't have to earn it or unlock it or grind for it. I actually did like that. It was like just be what you want to be from the get-go, like customized, look how you want to look. I actually really, really appreciated that, to be honest. But I understand it's like, yeah, like you could have used that as like an incentive to keep playing, earn points, add that to the progression system. I didn't actually know that you could unlock queues and different balls and things like that. So it's nice to know that there is a good progression system there. But I'm totally fine with I was really blown away by the amount of costumes that you could choose from and the customization. Although there was only one thing missing, I think, and that was, I don't think there was a beanie, and I was very disappointed in that. That was the only thing. I was like, you literally have every single hairstyle known to man, and they actually look pretty decent. A lot of the times there's like hairstyles that like clip through the face and look like shit. They actually look pretty decent. But I was a little disappointed that there was no beanie.
Ace Gamer Cat in the chat is saying that the private rooms are cross-platform, which is interesting. That's not how they're advertising this. But I guess I'm assuming if he's saying it, then he's already tried it and it's worked. So we're going to take your word on it. We're going to take your word on it. Also, if anybody wants to play this after GAMESCAST, let me know, because I got to get in there and unlock a bunch of stuff and get this review out tomorrow. So let's fucking go. Let's play tonight. If anybody's around, make sure you join us on Discord, and I will get everyone together over there.
So my final thoughts, Brian, on this.
No, hold on. We're not done. We're not ready for your final thoughts. I made things says, are there jump shots possible? Yes, there are. You can absolutely bounce the cue ball right over the ball in front of you if you get the right angle. It works. It works great. Surprisingly, I've also seen the ball go flying right off the table.
I was like, why do you want to jump when you shoot?
Yeah,
I'm such an idiot.
If you're a real professional, I guess it's something you can do. They also, I just want to say something else about the games that are available. You can play 8-ball, 9-ball, or 10-ball, which I've never even heard of 10-ball, to be honest with you. But it was interesting because I was playing 8-ball, and things were happening like that I was like, these are not the rules I grew up with. Like I thought that growing up, I'd been playing professional billiards rules, right? I feel like we took it very seriously when I was young, and we played a lot of billiards in my life. You can't edit the rules at all. Like there's so much stuff. It's like, so if you've ever played pool before, I guarantee you that the rules here are slightly different than the ones you're familiar with. And so it would be nice just to have like a couple options here and there to say, hey, if this happens, then this is how the game reacts. These are, this is how it works. Oh, look at these beer bottles that were stuck to our wrist when we were holding them.
I was thinking, can you just like spawn like balls at a table and just play the way you want with friends? Or do you have to go by the rules of, I wonder if there's like a free play where you can actually just play it the way you want to, even though it's set up for 8, 9, or 10 ball games. I was thinking that, but now that you mention it, I'm like, well, I don't know how you would do that, but I assumed that there would be a way to be able to do that. Play by your own rules.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
House rules.
Anyway, $20 game. I feel like I honestly, I hate saying this because $20 is like not that much money, and it's like the multiplayer stuff seems to work really well. And so I hate being this critical of something like this, but like it really does feel a little bit overpriced for what you're getting. But I'm glad it all works. I just hope that they're not done with this. This is a game that I think has been sort of patched and updated, and then not updated for a very long time on other platforms. So I feel like they've delivered to us the most recent version, and then whatever we've got is just, this is it. This is it. Don't expect any updates. And that bums me out just a little bit, because there are a couple things I would like them to tweak. But again, $20 to be able to hang out, a nice like social space to hang out with your friends. It's not too bad. Not too bad.
Yeah. It's not as heavily like, it's not full of a bunch of features, a bunch of variety of environments, things like that, like you mentioned. I agree though. Like for me personally, just as like your average consumer or whatever, I think like the sweet spot for this game, like price point, would be $10, because it only does one thing. It does it really well, but it literally only does one thing, and that is just play pool. You're not like you said, there's not a bunch of environments, there's not a bunch of variety of stuff, there's not a bunch of extra features. There's enough to get you started, and there's enough to be satisfied with, but it doesn't go beyond that. And for me, I'd like to pay $10 for this. I think that's like the must-have price for it. No more than 15. At $20, yeah, like I would like it to have a little bit more features. $20 these games these days, they feel like close to full-fledged games. This doesn't really feel like a full-fledged game. This feels like a very good basic thing. That being said, if you're somebody that can spend potentially, if it's just the playing the pool that you care about and you can spend dozens of hours playing it, then yeah, you can get your $20 out of this, especially with there being single player, private lobbies, and multiplayer and crossplay. So there are people that can get their money's worth with $20. Just for me personally, that plays a lot of single player stuff, I'd like to see this like $10, $15 at the most. But some people will be able to get their money's worth, no doubt.
Okay, Ace Gamer Cat's got a correction. It's cross-platform. You know, he's talking about the VIP area where like you make your own private lobbies. It's cross-platform between PSVR2 and PCVR. Quest has a different version of the game, so you can't join up with meta players, right? But you can in the open lobby area, because that's exactly what we were doing here. I think we had 5 PSVR2 players and 2 Quest players. We double-checked and we asked them. So a tiny limitation on the on the private lobbies. Good to know. Thank you, Ace Gamer Cat, for the clarification. Chris Taylor in the chat says, help spread the word. Hypercharge Unbox devs are considering releasing the game on PSVR 2. Yeah, everybody should know that already. Everybody should know that already, because you all watched PSVR this week, didn't you? Didn't you, motherfuckers? Didn't you? Why do I waste all my goddamn time making videos nobody fucking watches, AJ? I'm not mad.
What's Hypercharge?
No one cares.
Unboxed.
It's this kind of third. You know what? Hold on a second. I'm a chiller for this shit. I don't come unprepared. If you're gonna come unprepared, you might as not well come at all. Hold on. Hypercharge.
You know who else comes unprepared?
Baby, you knew where I was going with that. All right. so here it is. It's it's kind of this hybrid first person, third person shooter, where you play as like toys that come to life. You literally like break out of your packaging, and then it's co-op or single player. And yeah, you like basically unlock more toys the more you play.
Is this the game that like originally started on Xbox and got like really popular buzz around it, or is this a different one?
It might be. I know that it's finally making its way to PlayStation very, very soon.
Okay.
Very soon. So I think that yeah, it might have originated on Xbox. Now it's finally making its way over. Yeah,
this looks like it would make a great VR game.
Yeah, no, it's so great, man. Like, again, for anyone who missed PSVR this week, go watch PSVR this week. Why do I spend my time making it? It was great because Chris Taylor did exactly what we asked people to do. Right? They announced, hey, our game is almost ready on PlayStation, and so he responds in the comments by saying, hey, this would be great on PSVR too. And the developer said, we're looking into it. Like, you just need to kind of like push people in the right direction, or sometimes for us to find out about it, you just need to ask. You know, to find out that they've actually are considering it or maybe working on it.
Yep. I need to see a little bit more, but yeah, I can see the appeal immediately.
Yeah, it's different, man. It's a different kind of game, and we need different on PSVR too. For all the people who are like, I'm so sick of horror games. You better fucking be buying this shit.
Yep. Exactly.
Anyway, that's enough of me complaining. People don't watch my videos, AJ.
I do. It just takes me a while. I usually get to it later in the week.
Black Hole Pool, 2 out of 3 paws. I do think that it's a good game. Could use a few more features, but again, we don't have too many options. What's the other? We have. I forgot we even got Forever Pool, and so maybe I should check that out before I work on a Black Hole Pool review.
Oh Jesus, no! Stay far away from that.
Well, I just need to tell people like what the differences are. You know what I mean?
It's so bad. It's so bad in every single way. I played it for about 15 minutes and I about kicked my PS5 out the window.
That should be fun. Thundercat. Oh! With the $5. Oh, it says nothing. I was gearing up for it to read your tip, but thank you very much just for being here. Belly Bells with the Canadian $10 says, I'll donate $100. $100 Canadian, so keep that in mind. If Myles finishes Madison on stream, love y'all. Bro, we got, dude, Myles, where the fuck is Myles? Somebody tell Myles right now to get back on that shit. Because we could definitely use $100 Canadian for the Kickstarter. The Kickstarter?
I'm so glad it's Myles and not me.
Bro, I'll do it.
Oh,
I'll do it, but I think everyone just wants to see Myles cry.
I think I'd cry too.
All right, there we go. We're caught up on tips. That's good. Where do we go next? Oh, yeah, this is good. Pirates VR. Can't speak.
VR.
You should have introduced this segment. The trophies went live today. So as we all know, that means the game is coming out real soon.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, Black Hole Pool trophies still aren't live and it's out. So whenever trophies do go live, you know that's an indication that we're almost there.
Yeah. It should be right around the corner. I have this game on Steam, but I haven't played it yet, unfortunately. But this is one of this was actually on my top 10 anticipated PSVR2 games of 2025. This was number 10. This was the very top one, start one, because
it's the very bottom one. If it's number 10.
Very bottom one. Yeah, sorry.
It was the one we were looking forward to. The
very top one at the bottom.
Yeah.
It was the top on my script when I wrote the script for it. Another genre. It's like why don't we have a lot of pirate adventures in VR? Like it seems like this would be another no brainer, that there'd be a plethora of these by now, and we'd be like sick of them. But it's like no. In fact, there's a severe lack of pirate games in general in the gaming space that I see. I know that there's a couple like big ones that like dominate now, so it's not as scarce as it used to be. But
listen,
dude,
where the fuck is Sea
VR?
of Thieves VR? Sea of Thieves VR is all we need. We could cancel the rest of these.
That's the one.
That's that one. Yeah.
Or I'll settle for Monkey Island, because I know we got a lot of Monkey Island folks out there, fans out there.
I'm a huge Monkey Island fan, but if I'm gonna get a pirate game in VR, it's Sea of Thieves.
Okay.
Sorry.
If it's a legit pirate game, yeah. I don't know anything about Sea of Thieves, but yeah, man, it's just awesome to have a pirate adventure coming. And what I'm hoping, I think best case scenario, what I'm expecting, kind of where I'm keeping my expectations, is kind of like Hubris, but instead of a sci-fi adventure, this is a pirate adventure. I'm hoping this is a 5-hour adventure, which I think I've heard it's maybe not even that long. It may be more like 2 to 3 hours, 2 to 4 hours.
But I'm hoping it's detail big time on an episode that he was on when it got announced. He had already played some of it on Steam, and he had a series of complaints that were sent to developers. Unfortunately, developers listened and they said, "Hey, just wanted to let you know all of Wes's complaints we're looking into, and we want to make sure that we deliver the best possible game when it comes to PlayStation VR 2. So it may be improved over what we've already talked about."
Hell yeah, devs. Get you some. But yeah, man, this looks fun. It looks like a nice variety of gameplay elements, from climbing, rappelling, swinging, zip lining. I mean, there is a little bit of combat. There's a boss that it shows, or what looks to be a boss. So there might be a couple bosses.
I'm on board.
Treacherous dungeons to explore. So yeah, man. I'm looking forward to checking this out. I hope it's good. I'm keeping my expectations in check for this one, because it is a small studio and everything. Yeah. But I hope that I'm pleasantly surprised by the end of it. And it looks gorgeous. The environments look stunning. They look really, really pretty.
Yeah. One of Wes's complaints was that too much of the game is not outdoors. They spent all this time making this beautiful outdoor beaches and waters and foliage and whatever.
Open
and then
world.
And then you spend most of the game in caverns and caves and shit. Anyway, it's funny. This actually isn't the pirate game I'm excited for. Bootstrap Island is more of a survival game that's supposed to be coming out.
Oh yeah.
And I haven't played that one either. Yeah, World of Long Plays in the chat says don't expect too much. Yeah, okay. I feel like this is gonna be a few hours long. It's gonna be a 6 out of 10. Just kind of something fun, some climbing and some combat and some blah blah blah, and just hey, that was a fun little romp that kept me entertained for a few hours. Done. So.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thanks, World of Long Plays. I'll keep my expectations low and hopefully, like I said, be pleasantly surprised. Bootstrap Island's supposed to be really good, but yeah, that's not a pirate adventure. That's a survival game. So it's a little weird, but
Are we
sure.
not? Are we not pirates in Bootstrap Island?
Yeah, you are, but it's a survival game. It's not an adventure game, I don't think.
Okay.
It's like I was under the impression it's kind of like Green Hell or like Island Time, but pirate themed.
I love that you're like, it's like Green Hell or Island Time, as if the survival in either of those games is even remotely similar. Oh,
I have no idea.
I love it. Hold on a second. I gotta bring up Bootstrap Island just because I'm completely lost on this right now. Like,
I've heard good things about Bootstrap Island, but I know that survival games are not for everybody. Like a lot of people are. It's kind of like, honestly, it's like roguelikes for a lot of people, where it's just a genre they don't like because it's too stressful, or they just don't like the game loop, the progression, something about it. But that's why Song in the Smoke didn't flourish more. But I am a big fan of survival games ever since VR, starting with the Solus project. That made me a believer. I was like, holy shit. Also, I'm a big fan of No Man's Sky too. But yeah, I like a lot of sci-fi survival, and I loved Green Hell for the survival mechanics of it. That was fantastic. Song in the Smoke's one of the goats. And yeah, so I would definitely check out Bootstrap Island as well.
Looper in the chat says Bootstrap Island goes too far with not holding your hand. Something about that is appealing to me. Like, I trust Looper big time, but like something about being like, oh yeah, it doesn't hold your hand at all. Probably have to die a whole lot to figure out what the hell you're doing. Something about that appeals to me, but maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I'll have the same opinion when we get it.
It's an interesting concept. When I think of like, the fun part of being like a pirate or whatever is fighting cursed skeletons and, finding treasure and boarding ships and all the, the more of the stuff that Pirates VR Jolly Roger seems to have.
Secret Stuff says Black Flag in VR. All right, I changed my answer because
yeah,
I don't play a lot of Assassin's Creed. It's just not something I'm interested in. Like, I just cannot get into Assassin's Creed.
It's like the only one I played.
Yep, pretty much the same here. When Black Flag came out, it was like a buy two get one free on launch titles for PS4, and there was nothing else I wanted. I bought Knack, which was a horrible decision. Oh shit. Oh, Killzone Mercenary? No, that's not right. Killzone Shadowfall. Mercenary was such a better game on the Vita. And then I was like, well, I don't know what else to get. Buy two, get one free. I got to get something. And so I got Black Flag, and I spent so many hours in Black Flag. I absolutely loved that. I was like, oh man, if every Assassin's Creed was a pirate game, maybe I'd like this series more. But anyway, good stuff. Yeah, we need more pirate games.
Distracted says, dude, that is Sea of Thieves, AJ. You need to try it. Yeah, that's cool and all, but I don't really care about flat screen games anymore. VR has corrupted my flat screen mind.
Can you not UEVR it? Do we know what the engine is?
I don't think it's UVR or Unreal Engine. It's probably like an Xbox or proprietary engine, something. But yeah, the little I've seen of Sea of Thieves, yeah, that's just the traditional pirate stuff that seems really fun and adventurous. But yeah, I just don't play flat games anymore, man. The only reason I game still is VR.
Yo, I understand that. Although, been playing a lot of Switch games recently.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so dude, something about deciding not to get a Switch 2 at launch and kind of like waiting to see how it all plays out, and if the games come down in price or whatever, immediately it was like it sparked my interest, and I was like, I've got a lot of Switch games that are still like in the cellophane. I'm like, I should just go charge that Switch up and go play some games. And man, yeah, sometimes you just got to stop, not worry about what's coming out tomorrow or next week or next month, and just go back and look at the stuff you already have that you haven't played. And it's so satisfying to start knocking stuff out of your backlog and playing stuff that like you already own. You didn't even know how good it was. It's great. It's great, man.
Distracted says Sea of Thieves is Unreal Engine 4. However, I think it is like an online game, right? And it probably has like DRM stuff.
From what I understand, it's on.
And if you try to use that with UEVR, then it sees it as like a cheat bot or whatever. And
Gotcha.
It'll ban you. So that's probably why nobody's doing it.
It'll ban ya.
Ban ya.
So, all right, let's move on to our next news story. Dark Curry did an AMA last week for Undead Citadel. And I told you guys on GamesCast the day before the AMA, I said, hey, get it out of your system or get prepared because it is running at 60, reprojected at 120. I know that bothers a lot of people, including myself, especially for an action game like Undead Citadel. It's just not what you expect, right? It's just not what you expect when it comes to an action game. Like you want something that's fast and fluid and there's no ghosting. And so then they did their AMA, and everybody was like, really not happy about this being 120 reprojected.
Yeah.
Here's something amazing. I did not expect this in the slightest. I had no idea that this was even a possibility that they were going to do this. And shout out to Hamoud, who directed me to this just before the show. They posted on the PSVR2 subreddit, said, hey everyone, Undead Citadel team here again with fresh gameplay footage. Grab your sharpest sword, blah, 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 blah. And thank you for all the interest on our recent AMA. We heard you loud and clear on native 90 hertz support. Happy to say we're working on it. That is incredible to me, AJ. Here's a team who's gone radio silent so frequently over the last many, many years that this has been in development for PSVR 1 and then PSVR 2 and then maybe not. Now it's PSVR 2 again. And it didn't seem like the kind of team that was going to listen to our requests. And so the fact that they did listen, and again, the fact that you all came out and said, this is what we need, this is what we want, this is, I think, as far as I'm concerned, best case scenario.
Yeah, for sure. And they did actually, some people did ask them about it's been 10 years. Where has this game been? And they did mention things like they had to completely redesign their engine. I think they said they upgraded their engine and then they said the physics were crap and then they had to redo it and basically start over kind of, which is why it took so long. And it's crazy. It seems like this game is actually getting close to coming out, which is wild. It has been almost 10 years and it feels like at least 8 years since I first heard about this game. So it's pretty wild. But yeah, the 90 native, reprojection, man. I mean, really with every game, the best way is to kind of do a game by game basis. Because some games it's fine, some games it's awful. It's really hard to tell. Hitman, for example, uses reprojection. I don't think the game could run without it. Probably. To get a game on a PC, Brian, to get a game that runs 90 native with good resolution, good textures, good lighting, stuff like that, you have to have a couple $1,000 PC to get 90 native.
Because there's no eye tracking in your headset.
Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe that's kind of not entirely true, but you do have to have a pretty strong PC to get 90 native. And yeah, it's not easy to do. So to have a $500 console do 90 native is it's impressive when that they can do that, especially when using the DFR, the eye track foveated rendering. I mean, at the end of the day, I just want the game to look as best as it possibly can, whether that be using 90 frames per second native, whether that be using reprojection. I don't notice reprojection a lot, but I understand that people are sensitive to different things, and some people are very sensitive to the point where it's a deal breaker for them. So yeah, just having the option is a lot better. But for me, I also care about stability, frame rate, graphics. Sometimes the trade-off is worth it for me personally to have the reprojection, but yeah, it really depends. I mean, really at the end of the day, you got to go hands on and see which one you prefer. But yeah, it's great that they listened. That goes a long way in the VR community. And yeah, they if they play their cards right, and this game is at least as good as we expect it to be, at least as hope it would be, they could find possibly their most success yet on the PlayStation platform here.
Yeah. I saw some people saying that the footage looked washed out. And man, I got to tell you, I have footage from Undead Citadel spanning the last 6 years, right? From the first announcement teaser all the way up into this. I think this is one of the most recent HD videos that I've got for PSVR2. There's very few PSVR2 videos out there. This is one of the most recent ones from just like last week, I believe, that the team sent me. After being like, I was like, guys, your footage looks terrible on Twitter, like low res and artifacting. I was like, please, do you have an HD version? They're like, is this what you're looking for? And I was like, this is exactly what I'm looking for. So this is one of the best videos you're going to see of the PSVR 2 version right now. It doesn't, and I would say that this does not look washed out. This looks pretty damn good. So, but yeah, man, some of that footage that I was just showing is like literally years old. So anyway. Very much looking forward to getting my hands on this and getting into the headset. They just tweeted today saying that we're almost ready to open the gates on Undead Citadel on PSVR 2, which makes me wonder: is this 90 hertz mode that they're advertising, that they're saying they're working on, is that going to come post launch? My guess is yeah, probably. It's going to be one of those things where they say, hey, this is how it is at launch, but we have so many plans for this game post-launch. They've already talked about the co-op multiplayer that they want to add, and now here's 90 hertz native mode. Even in whoever was running the AMA, when asked how expensive it was going to be, I fully expected them to say $30, just like it is on Steam. But they said, we don't know quite yet, but we're expecting it to be $20.
That's I mean, yeah.
So I mean, here's the difference between Black Hole Pool and Undead Citadel.
Yeah, this is what a $20 game looks like this day and age. I mean, they could even push it up to, by the way it looks, I haven't played it yet, but by the previews, yeah, like this does look like a 25, potentially 30. I think 30 might be pushing it, but 30 is like the max you could get away with, maybe. But I think that would hurt their sales a lot to go up that high. I think if they did $20, I think everybody would pick this up for $20 because it looks like well worth the $20 for this type of game. Now, I haven't played it, but it just looks like a really quality $20 game, something like a Propagation Paradise Hotel, Hubris, all of that kind of Vampire Masquerade Justice, these things. You are such a jerk, by the way.
They asked for it in the chat. Listen, I just do what I'm told. Okay, don't blame me. Don't blame me. You're trying not to blame the cats. But whose fault is it really? It's the cats. Whose fault is it? It's the cats, dude. I'm good. When I get old and start going crazy, it's not going to sound all that much different than what I'm doing right now. You got to blame the cats. It's not me. I swear, it's the cats. Wow, no one's going to be able to tell the difference when I legitimately start to lose it.
Yeah, you sounded about 30 years older right there.
Sweet. If I just look down enough, you'll be able to... Oh, where's the bald? I guess the headphones are covering the bald spot. It's really big, man. I gotta get bigger headphones to cover it up as I get older. Like the headphones just get bigger and bigger and bigger every
year.
episode.
Headphones are bigger.
That'd be hilarious. I love it. Grandpa's Barbecue or Game Cat with the Australian $5 tip says, I'll add another 50 to the GoFundMe if Myles finishes Madison on stream.
Oh my God.
Myles, you've heard the call of the cats.
Myles,
they're asking for you.
Myles, we have $150 riding on. Anybody else want to pitch in? We're going to do this. Poor Myles. Put this all on him.
Hey, man. Like,
we're going to have to let Myles know he's got $150 riding on him. Maybe even more to get through Madison. How far did he get? He probably didn't get that far. That's like a long game, too. He probably got like 10 minutes in. Oh
yeah, listen, I mean, as far as I know, he's like he is familiar with the game, at least on the
he's probably 2 hours in. I know he streamed it.
But I mean, come on, if you're not, the virtual resistance says I'll add 50. Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you guys. Thank you. You're putting up a challenge, and hopefully Myles will do it.
Yep.
If I will tell you this, you got to have some shiny ass balls to get through the part with the lighter in the maze, right? Oh my God, dude! When you're trudging through water, like I just felt like I felt like I was gonna have a heart attack in real life playing Madison. I was like, I just can't handle this much more. The number of times I took my headset off during that 10-minute section multiple times, and then I just started just like pushing the analog stick forward and closing my eyes in VR, waiting to hear the sound of a jump scare. And like, you get to a point in life, man, where you're like, one more solid scare. I was also like, so carrying a lot of weight and my heart was not happy about it. And so like, it felt like one good scare is going to like put me in the hospital. So I was waiting for it.
Last Halloween, I think I posted my scare highlights, and it's 4 like 1 2-minute or 4 1-minute clips or something where it got me really bad. And then it's like 20 clips of just just one after the other. And that wasn't even nearly like all of them. Those were just the highlights. The best ones I could find out of like 10 hours of footage or whatever it was. Oh my God.
I promise that wasn't a spoiler. I promise that wasn't a spoiler. It's very clear as soon as you have the lighter and you're going through that maze, it's that like this is going to be scary. They do not waste time letting you know this is going to be torturous. Not spoilers.
It's been out
I promise
2 years too.
2 years, really?
I think it's been out for 2 years.
I don't know. Anyway, still, we don't want to spoil. I made the mistake of spoiling part of Madison for a handful of people, and I'll never live that down. I'll never not feel bad about that. So I want to make sure we never do anything like that again.
Okay.
All right, dude. Let's get into the headline story of the day, and that's that but this is not going to go well.
Oh my God.
Hey, you know what? We got a couple different websites to go with this, and that's one of the producer, right? The producer of Bloodborne, the famous From Software game.
One of the goats
is opening a new studio, AAA Studio, and it seems like it's going to be a hybrid studio. They certainly want to focus on VR, but they're saying they're also focusing on flat screen and consoles, so that it sounds like the description sounds like hybrid games. So I did say AAA VR studio in the headline because you only have so many characters to work with. However, I think AJ and I both agree that we would rather have a studio working on hybrids, big budget AAA flat screen games that you can also play in VR, than an actual AAA VR studio. Agree or disagree?
100% agree. I think at some point everybody's got to realize, I mean, look, I do think like VR only games are important as well, of course. And I do think in the big picture, if there was a built from the ground up VR game with the scope of like a flat screen game, like it would be better. It's just, that just doesn't happen. And I was playing Hitman on Saturday, and I'm like, dude, like this is the answer, man. Like this game is not even intended to be in VR, was just converted to VR, almost like a mod. And this is better than 99% of the VR library. Like this is incredibly amazing. And yeah, man. So I'm a big believer of hybrids because you get the game there. And as a gamer first, that's really important to me. The VR tech is amazing. Obviously, I love being immersed. I love being inside the game. That's amazing. But there has to be a good game there as well. There has to be good content. And them going with a potential hybrid strategy would be awesome, especially if they kind of continue this trend of making these Souls-like or brawler melee combat style games, because despite it not being super successful or taking off, I do think that there were some redeeming qualities to what the hell was it called? Soul Covenant? Can't believe I remember that. There was a lot of stuff I did like about Soul Covenant, but its biggest weaknesses were just the way it was like stitched together, and not like it wasn't a very cohesive game. So I think possibly you take Soul Covenant and you make that like a flat screen game, like formula to it, and then you add the VR to it, and I think you actually have a game that is in everybody's library or a lot of people's libraries.
Right. And if anybody doesn't know, the reason that AJ is bringing up Soul Covenant is because here you have the producer of Bloodborne teaming up with the people some of the people at Third Verse who made Soul Covenant, who made Altair Breaker, who made Swords of Gargantua. These games are fun. Like I spent, just dozens of hours in these games trying to complete them. And then once I completed them, just grinding and grinding to build better weapons, and then just going through the run and beating them faster and faster and more frequently with friends. So much fun. I didn't do that with Soul Covenant because the multiplayer was broken when I wanted to review it. And so I never got back to it. I want to, but yeah, you're right. The story stuff was just like fucking kind of jammed in there, like very unceremoniously. But that's why we're talking about these games, is because here we have people who are very familiar with VR and people who are very familiar with making big, robust flat screen AAA games. And it's like, what is this unholy union going to result in? So let's take it from the top here. This is actually from, what the hell site is this? The Music Essentials. There's a bunch of articles about this, and we're going to jump over to Gamatsu in a minute here too, because they've got some great quotes. But this is, I believe, Ethan Cross over here at, one more time, The Music Essentials. He writes, Teruyuki Toriyama, the former producer of Bloodborne, is back in the game, but this time he's doing it on his own terms. Toriyama, along with his old colleagues Suzuki and Hideki Ire, God, I'm fucking up all these names, have formed a new game development studio, Sirius Studio. The studio aims to bring AAA and mid-sized games to life with a strong focus on VR and consoles. Sirius Studios promises to prioritize creator independence, allowing developers to make games that they want without the pressure of big corporate influence. The studio, a subsidiary of GZ Group, is determined to craft titles that will not only captivate gamers, but leave them with that heart-pounding excitement that great games are known for. Iri, speaking to Famitsu, shared his thoughts on the new venture, stating that it is said that 80% of the VR market is in English-speaking countries, and many of the titles our staff, including Toriyama, have worked on have been worldwide hits, so I think it's not an impossible goal. The Sirius team has a strong background in high-end games, having previously worked together at Thirdverse, but things started to change when Thirdverse shifted its focus to casual games, Iri explained. We were part of that team that produced high-end games at the Japan studio of a company called Thirdverse. However, Thirdverse decided to shift its business and the production to the casual games. Since we were a team that came together to produce high-end games, we wanted to make high-end games in the future, so we consulted directly with the chairman of Thirdverse and decided to make an amicable transfer. With Sirius Studio, the team is ready to take on the challenge of developing for both VR and traditional consoles. They plan to focus the entire life cycle of game creation, including planning, development, and sales of digital games for consoles, PCs, and even VR and AR titles. The studio's goal is simple: make games that shine, both in terms of quality and emotional impact. If the past success of Toriyama and his team are any indication, it's safe to say that they're poised to bring something special to the gaming world. All of this sounds really good. But I think it sounds even better when you hear some of the quotes here that I'm going to bring up over from the Gamatsu article right here. Ha 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 ha. I love when things work. They don't always. So we scroll down and... Okay, so messages... Sorry?
It's in your email.
Yeah,
that you sent me.
That's true, but I was also trying to put it on the screen for the cats.
Okay.
Right. It's like story time with Brian Paul. Trust me when I read shit to you. Actually, AJ, I just read that whole article. Do you want to kick, since it's in the email that I sent you?
Yeah, I'll do the first one.
Right.
This is from Tomohiro Suzuki, representative director, says, quote, "In 2016, I attended a PlayStation VR hands-on event and thought, this is it. This is what I've been aiming for. I was convinced that VR would be the next frontier in entertainment. At the same time, the power of console games remains strong, offering deep, evolving experiences to players around the world. Today, we're proud to announce the launch of Sirius Studio Inc., built by a team of experienced developers behind AA and AAA titles. Leveraging our console game expertise, we're ready to boldly step into the world of VR. Backed by a solid development system and the strength of our group, we're committed to making Sirius Studio a leading force in Japan's gaming industry."
This is what I like to hear, AJ. Like when somebody says, in 2016, I attended a PlayStation VR hands-on event. And I was like, this is what's going to change gaming. This is like, because here's a developer thinking in the same way we all thought when we first tried our PSVR ones. We said, holy crap, this is the future of gaming. This is such a big deal. And a lot of developers just were like, whatever. We're just going to keep making
this doesn't work in VR. This is how would this work?
Right.
We can't see it.
But
we have no vision.
But him saying that, it's just like, it just proves, it's like, he's like, for years now, he's been thinking about this. For years now, he's been like, how can we make this a thing?
I totally agree with it, man. Our grandchildren, or our GameCat's grandchildren, they're going to be like growing up, and VR is going to be like a big thing or something. VR is already here to stay, and it's not going anywhere. And yeah, it's got a lot more turbulence to get through, and it's been an uphill battle. All 7 years I've been doing this, and however many 10 years you've been doing this, it's been an uphill battle the whole time, but it has never stopped. And it's just going to continue, man. And at some point it's going to really, really blow up. But yeah, totally love his enthusiasm and his sentiment there.
Hideaki Eri, Executive Vice President, says, we believe that games are still a growing field in the sector of global entertainment, and Japan continues to be a leader in this field. As Serious Studios, our goal is to become a world-class development studio that delivers games with global appeal and quality. We are committed to creating experiences that not only entertain, but leave lasting memories for players around the world. And then Teruyuki Toriyama, the director, CPO, says, with technological advancements, both console and VR XR games have expanded into an immense market, transforming games from mere fun into true forms of entertainment. As the environments and lifestyle surrounding gaming evolves, one thing remains constant. People seek new experiences that move the heart. As Serious Studios, we're committed to creating unique games that offer these emotional experiences, continuously challenging ourselves to deliver unforgettable moments for our users. AJ, when the producer of Bloodborne leaves From Software and opens their own studio, do you think that's sending a message that like, hey, these are the type of games we want to make? Or do you think it's going to be more in the line of like what Third Verse has been doing and he can sort of lend his expertise to?
Well, I did think it was interesting with them saying, taking such a strong stance with VR. And I do think what's going to eventually make VR more successful are people making a stand like this or doing this. Clearly, they seem like a passionate group towards VR. And one thing that caught my attention that I love to hear was they were like, first of all, I don't know how they're like funding this. I don't know where they're finding the backing for all this. It's pretty crazy, but I'm really glad they do. They have. And it's really interesting to hear them say like things like we're not just going to do what like the corporate interest, kind of thing to do is, because I do think that is something that has really poisoned the gaming industry lately over the last decade or so. Like gaming got successful so quickly that all the corporations, the monopolies started just instantly happening overnight. And there was like a corporate takeover, and it's really hurt the goodwill, and the thing that gaming is originally intended to do, which is to bring us entertainment, to bring us joy and happiness, and bring out different emotions and amazing experiences. That's something that does feel a little lost right now at the moment. And so it is nice to hear somebody just be like, look, this isn't about like money. This is about the vision, the dream, the experience that we could potentially have. And I think VR is one of the best things quietly happening in the games industry right now. So I don't know if that answers your question, Brian, but
Nope.
But that was very interesting and I liked hearing them say that.
For sure. I guess my question revolved more around the fact that like there's no one out there considering Altair Breaker or Swords of Gargantua or even Soul Covenant. Yeah, which explains why I couldn't find the trailer, because I was looking for Sword Covenant. Let's try that again.
It's not that generic, right?
It's super generic. Here we go. Here's Soul Covenant.
Soul Covenant's a good name.
Yeah, I mean, it's all right. It's like the
better
game
than
has to
Swords
stay
of
that.
Gargantua. I'm just saying.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Although now I really want it to be called Sword Covenant. I don't know why. Yeah, I mean, listen, this is a game that ran at 120 reprojected, but I didn't care because I just loved the art style so much, and the enemies were really cool, and somehow they could have injected Sword Covenant.
It's Soul Covenant, bro.
I know, but now I think it's funny. Yeah, Soul Covenant. I was like I thought Altair looked good too, and even Swords of Gargantua looked decent. But I think they developed a style over the course of time, and that style evolved and it got better and better. And I think Soul Covenant is their best looking game so far. But obviously it had some major problems in terms of cohesion. If they could find a way to make this game and also kind of shoehorn the story in without making it feel so shoehorned next time. Yep. I think they've got a real winner on their hands, man, because people love to jump into VR and just fucking take down enemies together. You just don't want to sit there and stare at a 2D screen for 5 minutes while it dumps a bunch of anime exposition on you, right? I like the anime stuff, but I don't want to just sit there and watch anime telling me a story while I'm in VR.
It wasn't just that too. I mean, that was part of it. It was also just the pacing. Like you fight and then it's loading screen and then you go into loading screen into a video and then it's a loading screen back to the menu and then it's a loading screen back to the level. Then it's a loading. It was just like stop, go for like a long time, like 8 hours straight. You're stopping and you're going and you're stopping. And it just, it was the flow, the cohesion of the whole game is really what killed it. But dude, they're so close to it. Like, I really feel like they were this close. They've been so close each time to just really bringing it all together. And I do believe that they can, because they have so many good ideas. The gameplay is usually pretty fun. The art style is usually really good. Like you said, like, I'm not even worried about, like, even the haptics were really good in Soul Covenant. There's a lot of like great things that they did that they just haven't brought it all together. Now, it would be amazing. The best thing they could do is just keep, I think they should keep trying with the Souls formula, like keep going at that, like especially the Bloodborne. That's what set Soul Covenant apart from like some of these other games, is like it was a little bit more of that. I don't know. It was a little bit like futuristic-y, like sci-fi thing to it, but the bosses and stuff, they had that kind of wacky like Bloodborne style a little bit, versus just like, oh, this is just medieval. Like, it had a little bit more like some I don't know. It had a great art style to it. So many good things, man. So close to putting it all together.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I hope what Toriyama can bring to the table is kind of showing the third verse members of the team saying, hey, listen, we want to create a cohesive world that isn't like, okay, now you're in this stage, or now you're on this floor and you fight a bunch of enemies, then you go to the next floor, you fight a bunch of enemies, and you go to the next area. No, Bloodborne and most Souls-like games have these great kind of open worlds, right, that you kind of slowly unlock as you kind of make your way through it. And I really do think that the environments, that the worlds that you're playing in are like practically a character themselves, right? Like that's what I remember more than even the enemies are the worlds of From Software games. And so I hope that's what they can bring to the table. I would love a more cohesive world and just something that like you become intimately familiar with because you've been playing in the same place for like, dozens of hours, and you slowly kind of open up new sections of the map. I think that would be incredible in VR, and I definitely think it could be done.
Kind of making me want to play Soul Covenant again. Another problem with that game,
Bloodborne again.
Oh my god, I could always play Bloodborne. I need to go back. Actually, I've got like 2 trophies from the platinum. I really, but
I never
VR
beat
happened.
Bloodborne.
Oh, you never beat it? Oh man.
No, I think I've got 40 hours in that game, and if you go, Brian, where are you at 40 hours in? It would be laughably embarrassing to show you how far I've gotten, because I'm terrible at Souls games.
Are you at like Father Gascon?
I couldn't even
the werewolf?
tell you. I literally have not played that game since. I mean, what are we talking? 10 years now?
It came out in like 2014. So 2013, 2014. So
and so I played like 40 or 60 hours, something along those lines, and then like something else came along. Oh right, VR came along, and that killed everything, man. Like I never got back to Horizon Zero Dawn. I never got back to Breath of the Wild, and because VR was like, oh, this is it now. This is what I care about. So there's a lot of games that got left unfinished.
I was playing Bloodborne, Rocket League, Nier Automata,
nice,
and Curses and Chaos, which nobody has ever heard of, and everybody should.
I have Curses and Chaos on Vita.
Nobody's ever heard of Curses and Chaos, and it pains me.
Me.
It's honestly kind of the reason I started doing this. like I was like, dude, nobody knew about Curses and Chaos. I was like, this will never happen again. Like, I need to be vocal about things I like. Be more supportive. True story. It was a Curses and Chaos was a gateway drug into me supporting VR. This is a very true story.
I think I have Curses and Chaos on Vita. I might even have it physically. I feel like it was
also,
a limited run.
Towerfall? Was it called Towerfall?
That
was a little bit more popular. That was really good too. Yeah. I love those games.
That was super popular for a little bit. And he says Brian's stuck at the Tower Knight. How do you know?
I digress. Yeah, so cool. Interesting time to see a startup studio like this.
When everything else is failing and shutting down, they're like, you know what would be a good idea right now?
Let's start a studio.
Right?
Dude, that's a great idea. But yeah, and they said they obviously know that like the West, like VR is where the more popular scene is. We've heard about, how VR does out East, and it is not good. It is VR has not caught on out in the East. And the Asias and stuff like that. It is definitely not caught on yet.
Although, if you are, I've asked this before, and I said something along the lines of like, I made a mention of something about like, was it Cube VR when it got to Japan or something that was like, I put it in PSVR this week. And I said this Japan week it's finally out in Japan, and I was like, wait a minute, do we even have viewers in Japan? The number of responses. The number of responses I got was actually pretty surprising. We have a lot of Japanese viewers. So shout out to all of you Japanesers.
Let me come visit you.
Japanese.
Please let me come and have some real ramen. I crave. I need real ramen in my life.
Yeah, for real.
Shuhei used to always kill me with those posts of like ramen. I'm like, dude, that looks so good. Like I need that inside me.
You know what we got to do? We got to go. We got to just like show up at Jake Kasdal's door.
Yes.
Right. And Ryan from Camouflage. We do because they're all fucking chilling in Japan, eating awesome sushi.
Ryan lives in Japan.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Ryan Payton. He divided Camouflage into two studios. One in Japan and one in the States still. And that's so that because he was like, that way we can basically be working on games 24/7. I was like, be honest, it was just an excuse for you to move to Japan. And he goes, pretty much.
both of them are some of the coolest people on the planet. I bet you they would be like, okay, let's go. We'd show up and they'd be like, all right, we're going. Get your shit. Well, they wouldn't need anything because we'd be outside. These two of the coolest mofos on the planet, man.
Yep, Jake Kasdal and Ryan Payton, two amazing developers making awesome games, both eating sushi in Japan while we're stuck here eating ramen noodles out of packages that say cup of noodles on the outside.
Creamy chicken ramen noodles are actually pretty good.
Bro, for real. I go to bat for creamy chicken like all the time. I've been going to bat for creamy chicken for years now. Like,
it's legit.
Just when you're about to get sick of like crappy packets of 30-cent ramen, creamy chicken comes along and changes the game, and you're like, you know what, this shit's still pretty good.
It is very good, and you can like put in actual chicken with it and stuff.
Pork belly,
shrimp, pork belly. Oh my god, I can't wait to have that pork belly again. That was the first time. Dude, I've tried to find a restaurant that has that same pork belly ever since. I've never found a single place that does.
I'll be honest with you, man. That was not the best pork belly I've ever had. It was kind of like, it was a little overdone. And so we'll find a better restaurant this time.
Burnt. It was so good though. No, it wasn't burnt, but it was like super crispy. But it was perfect for me. It was like, it It really was just like super thick square. It's like basically square bacon.
And they had like the pickled veggies to go with it. Man, the combination of those two things are so
Oh
good.
my God, I can't wait to eat there again.
All right, well, I'm officially hungry. Anyone else?
Yes, I am starving, if you can tell.
Yeah. Game Cat Behemoth says, if only it was healthy. Woof, we are definitely not talking about healthy food right now. That's for sure.
Chicken, shut up.
Holy shit. Dratzeb with the $5 tip says, creamy chicken shout out. Fuck yeah. That's right. Oh my God. Thank you guys for the donations. And thank you for supporting. I've seen a couple donations for the GoFundMe throughout the course of the episode. Thank you very much. And there's another one. You guys are phenomenal. Thank you so much. Remember, we're trying to raise money for all of us to get to PAX East. It sucks, man, because the last thing I ever want to do is like ever focus on money. The last thing I ever want to do is talk about money. The last thing I ever want to do is ask you guys for money. I hate that, right? You're always so generous with us as it is. And then suddenly we have like this massive bill for hotel rooms and air flight, and it's just so much money. And
dude, thank you guys so much,
exactly.
man. Anonymous, thank you for the donation. Ian, thank you for the donation. Anonymous, thank you. Brian, thank you for the 2 donations. Not you. Thank you for both of those donations. And John, you guys seriously are heroes, and I cannot wait to make exclusive Without Parole on-site content again. That was so much fun. That was like, the trip was great, but also it was really fun doing the GAMESCAST live.
Yeah.
And putting that was a really special thing. And some of the interviews that we did, I want to, we'll take what we learned and try to do it even better this time, just for you guys.
Yeah, and Greg Miller's going to be there Thursday morning doing story time with Greg Miller, which means suddenly my plans have changed, right? Because I was going to get there for check-in later in the day, but man, now it's like I'm basically going to be getting up super early that day and making sure that I'm at the whatever theater it's at, because I emailed him and I said, listen, man, I was like, you were going to come on GamesCast Live and talk about VR, and I'm just going to fucking corner him in the theater and be like, sit down and talk about VR with me. I really, for somebody who's been like Greg Miller in the industry for so long and really just has no interest in VR, I want to get a perspective like his from somebody that says, this is what they need VR to be in order for it to be successful, in order for it to be something they're interested in, right?
Oh, right. Like to hear what would sell them on VR.
Right. Like, I don't want to turn into a negative thing being like, so you fucking hate VR, huh? Like, I really, because we've been so invested in so like in the trenches of VR for so long, AJ. We've been there since like the beginning, like when PlayStation debuted it back in 2016. That like once you're insulated in the bubble that we're in for so long, it's hard to like step outside that bubble and see other people's perspective. And when they go, I'm just not interested in VR, just not interested. It's like, we don't understand that. Right. So I want to step outside of our bubble for a minute and talk to somebody who knows video games and has tried PlayStation VR 1 and PlayStation VR 2, and just it isn't grabbing him. I want to hear his perspective, and I definitely want to film it and get it up on the channel. So get us to PAX, and I'll corner Greg Miller.
Then we'll tickle him. You hold him down, I'll tickle him.
Somebody's going to clip this. It's not going to go well.
No, yeah. He's going to be like, somebody's going to clip it and be like, avoid Without Parole at all costs. No, but I am excited to see all you guys, man. And like I said, think of any creative thing we can do to make some good content for you guys.
Who the hell asked to see your Ian Marsh in the chat said, AJ, show your knees, please. What is happening?
I saw that, and I was wondering why. I was like, but why?
Is there a donation following this? Because I feel like we're getting into OnlyFans territory.
I could do it, but why would I?
Why? Why would I? Dan Kiefer with the $5 tip says, chili, cheese, noodles. Hell yeah. I'm down for some chili cheese noodles.
You know what? Fuck it.
What just happened? Oh, are we going full screen on AJ? Yeah, we are.
There you go. You happy?
I'm so uncomfortable right now.
There. Listen, we do whatever for these people, because these people do everything for us. So fuck it, whatever. There's my knee. I hope it was worth it.
Anybody want to see my toes? I don't even know where to go from
here. What other content creators would do that for you guys? Don't ever say we never care about you.
Big Stack D Casting with the Australian $15 says, "Hey guys, I've been busy, but I'm back now." Bro, Big Stack D, talk about an OG fucking cat. Big Stack, I mean, so OG that he did a viewer takeover introduction back when we used to do those. Holy crap. Welcome back, Big Stack D. Thank you so much for the 15 Australian. Woo! Amazing. AJ, we got to wrap up the show, man. It's time to do a 4-minute challenge. You ready for this?
Yes, I'm ready. Now that I think I blinded the chat too.
Blinded by his
I'm really
knees.
not that pale, man. I'm actually really tan. I don't know. I just really suck at lighting.
Yeah, this is not my skin color. The lighting is just perfect in here. Like, I look tan. I look healthy. You'll see me in... Everybody coming to the Game Cat Meetup 2025, PAX East, next month is going to go, oof. That's the general reaction I get from people of just being like, oof. You hide everything so well, Brian.
Right, Pop says, thank you for that, AJ. The mods all thank you. I'm sorry. I love these people. You can't stop me from loving them, Rye.
So good. All right, man. I have picked out a game. It might be a PSVR 1 game. It might be a PSVR 2 game. And it's up to AJ, you over there, and all the cats out there. You guys have an infinite number of yes or no questions, but only 4 minutes to ask all the questions you need to figure out what game I'm thinking of. Remember, guys, help him out. Suggest good questions that he should ask, and then good games based on the answers that I give.
Oh my God, are you ready, cats? The win streak starts again because you screwed it up. That was a pretty tough one, though. That was
the Street 10 VR. Yeah, especially for a game I wish I could forget.
Yeah, like I hadn't even heard of that.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. All right, on your mark. Get Des.
Ready, cats? Is it on PSVR 2?
No.
Is it on? It's on PSVR 1. Then. It's not on PSVR 2. Is it? Did it come out within the first year of PSVR 1?
No.
Is it based on a popular IP?
No.
Did this developer make other PSVR 1 games?
No. Not.
Is it PSVR exclusive?
No.
Is it multiplayer?
No.
Okay, we know what it's not. Does it use the moves?
Yes.
Is there full locomotion?
Yes.
Does it use other controllers than the moves?
Yes.
DualShock?
Yes.
Aim controller?
No.
3D rudder?
I know. Oh, I don't think so.
Okay. Shooting?
In the loosest of terms, yes.
Sci-fi?
In the loosest of terms, but no. Both of those are going to throw you off the scent. I don't focus on
horror?
those. No. Well, in a sense, but no.
Loosely,
but don't focus on it. No.
Not fantasy. It's not Skyrim. Is it a 10+ hour game?
No.
Is it a 5-hour game?
I would say no.
Is it a 2-hour game?
I mean, we're getting closer. Yeah. I mean, we're getting, one, maybe 2 hours. Yeah.
Is it a puzzle game?
No.
You said there's some, is it cartoony?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty cartoony. Is it blocky looking?
No.
You said it's not based on a popular IP?
It's not.
Is it by a, does it, is it an experience?
Yes.
It is an experience. Nice one, Headbite. Does it take place on a train?
No. Could you in a car? No. Could you? Sorry.
He says it's not. Well, Bonfire is like super sci-fi.
Also, who said I'm AJing the fuck out of this? This is the opposite of AJing the fuck out of this.
Pretty good. Is it? Well, it's not based on a popular IP, so it can't be. Is it a good game?
I mean, I don't think so, but let me give you
Do
this.
you have?
It's popular.
It's popular. It's a popular experience.
Yeah, but there's not a lot.
Is it? but it's not based on popular IP, so it's not Spider-Man. It's not a lot to it. It's popular. Does it well, that's kind of actually a game. Do you put on another VR headset in this game?
No.
Okay. Okay, it's popular. Is it based off of anime?
Nope.
Is it based off of Batman?
Nope.
Oh. Ooh, I like where you're going with this, Looper. Wait. Has this developer made a PSVR2 game?
Yes. 24 seconds. Hurry up.
Oh, I got this, man. I think Looper got this. Do you walk on a plank of wood in this experience?
You do.
Is it Richie's Plank experience, Brian?
AJ, with 10 seconds left, coming out all the way back in December 12th of 2018. It is indeed Toast Interactive's Richie's Plank experience.
Headbite, great job with the experience call. And Looper, thank you for helping me guess it.
Yeah, good job. Good job.
Did you know, Brian, that this is being developed for PSVR 2?
I did. And I was just, because Looper asked, is it coming to PSVR 2? And I was like, well, if he asked that, I think we're going to get our answer. And so, but you didn't ask. Man, let's hope it's still coming to PSVR 2, right? Because Toast had to downsize after.
Yeah, it is. This wasn't featured on This Week or anything?
Oh shit, I forgot. Yeah, Richie actually sent me a message. So yes, it is still coming. I completely forgot that I had a conversation about that this week.
He's been posting about it. For the first time, he's showing his face and everything. It's like, it's an actual guy now.
Right.
But yeah, the Richie, I suppose, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, he's been posting some screenshots of this running on PSVR 2. He's still working on it. Still probably a ways to go, but yeah, this will be interesting to see. It's obviously got a lot of content that was added post-launch. I actually liked Richie's Plank experience after it got the update. At first, obviously, it was super popular because it was like an early VR, like, hey, this is a good way to show people like how immersive VR can be. Everybody freaks out walking this plank. But actually, when the game got an update, of like, it got like a graphical overhaul, and then it got like the flying levels, putting out fires and stuff. It actually was like, hey, this is actually starting to become like a cool game as well, or have some good game elements to it as well.
Yeah. Listen, I mean, Richie's Plank experience is what allowed Max Mustard to be made, right? The sales of Richie's Plank were great. They continue to be great on other platforms. They clearly want it to be on PSVR 2 because it's selling great. And so why not make sure it's everywhere? I really hope that them getting this on PSVR 2 can be a stepping stone for them, getting them back on track.
Get back in the game.
Because, man, Max Mustard deserves so much more love than it got. That's all I'll say.
And I hope they learn the lessons from it. Such a great game.
Yeah, don't make good games because people won't buy them. That's the lesson to learn.
Yeah.
Just make shitty games.
Just make shitty games that look cool. And you're better. You're way better off that way.
Such a shame. Oops. That was the wrong button. All right. Guys, thank you all so much for being here. Thank you so much to everyone who contributed to the GoFundMe. Thank you to everybody who's tips during the show. Man, you guys supporting us on Patreon and over here by being members. You're all amazing. Thank you for keeping the lights on. Thank you to helping us get to PAX. Unbelievable. But again, I always want to make sure that you guys know it's never about the money. We're just happy that you're here. We have the best community on the face of the planet. And so come hang out on our Discord. That's where these conversations happen 24/7. Click the link in the description below. While you're at it, subscribe to all my co-hosts. But most importantly today, AJ at PSVR Underground. Him and Myles and Wes are all doing great VR content. You never starved for something to watch if you're subscribed to all four of us. So make sure
my channel is basically just Hitman now. That's all it's going to be for the next month. It's just nothing but Hitman.
That works. Make sure. Yeah. People keep asking where my review is, and I'm like, do you mean where AJ's review is?
Shh, don't tell them.
I'm trying to make AJ do it.
Nobody will watch it.
Everybody tell AJ to do the review.
I'm working on it.
Excellent. Nobody will watch it. Yeah, right.
No. Now that they know that I'm making it, nobody will watch it. But hey, man, you need some help, and if you don't want to, it's an honor. Like, not only do I get to do it without Parole review, but I get to do it for one of the biggest games. Okay, 2 of the biggest games, because I'm doing another one secretly. I don't know if it's secret.
Ooh.
So yeah, man, no, that's cool. Thank you.
But all right, it's our time to get out of here. But thank you guys again for everything. You're just absolutely amazing, and shout out to everybody who hangs out during the chat, helps during 20 questions, and of course everybody who sits back, watches the show, and doesn't say a goddamn word. We know you're out there, and we love you just as much. Oh God, it's Monday.
Kill the motherfucking cat rocks. I want to say see you guys on Wednesday. 2 random talks in the derailed hype train. Cat says cats. Ace Gamer cat. His thing was blocked, but that's okay. I unblocked you. Another moderator just handled this. Hembrain 2Y Underground Stranger Game Cat Elitist Name Squad in the house says, when is the Brian and AJ No Man's Sky stream? That is a very good question, but the answer is within a month.
Yeah, it'll be before PAX, obviously.
Probably within the next 2 weeks. The Hippie Pickle, thank you so much, man. Says peace and love to all the cats out there. Thank you so much. I made things. Hello, says rock and roll, prayer hands, and vibrating heart. Right back at you, homie. TGK2, ladders, all ladders to you too. TGK2, Bargle Soft, TTFN, Game Cats. There were some comments up above that I wanted to say as well. Austin Tatum says VR off-road this week. Dan Kiefer says he's working on AJing it. Yes, that is very, very true as well. Ace Gamer says, do you wear B-haptics in Hitman? No, but I thought about it, and I probably will at some point. I think it'd be pretty cool, actually. I think it would work fairly well. Not as great as, obviously native haptics, but sure. Dan Keeper says it's all about the noodle. We give it all for the noodles. Come on, the noodles. Come on. So now make me some ramen. I prefer creamy chicken. Yeah, creamy chicken. Yeah. Much better than the original song. Random Mark Smith says on this day in history. I don't. That's the different day. I think that's
Wednesday, man.
Thing.
That's Wednesday.
That's Wednesday. No. Guys on fist bump to you. The head bite. Thank you so much again for the assist with the pop quiz. Secrets of good to see you. Melchiah, the soul reaving game cat. Raziel, Prozac. 380. I love that name for some reason. Says time to fish slap some folks. Yes, my melee combat weapon of choice was the fish in my stream Saturday. Mischievous Markio, the underground legendary Tales Platinum, because you're fucking crazy, Game Cat. Later, homie. Magic the Game Cat, good to see you, my dude. Nihilist Ryan, my metal feline friend. All of you have a wonderful night. Thundercat and Ian Marsh and old Darth. Bye-bye.
Hey, Jay.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Jay, now that's just the two of us. Can I see your knees? Just you and me.
Just the two of us. Yeah, you can see my knees.